Hi, this is Trinesha, and today I wanted to talk about opposition. So, I know you're probably thinking, what is making you want to talk about opposition? So, what made me want to talk about opposition is earlier today I was listening to two sermons, and in each of the sermons, opposition is the word that really stood out to me. And one of the pastors was saying how an opposition can be used to try to stop you from seeking God. It's something that could stand in your way. And I was gonna title this video, you know, the like defending yourself against the ops. And then I was like, some people aren't gonna get it. So let me probably just keep it as opposition because that's more me, even though more people would be like ops, what? But it's not for the people, it's for the people who are intended to watch this video. So we'll see what happens. If God puts it on my heart, like, oh yeah, let's just name it that, then that's what we'll name it. But I know opposition is what stood out to me. And so it's so funny because one of the pastors said that the guy, there he was talking to this guy who had gave his life to God, and he was saying, this praying stuff just doesn't work. And he's like, it seems like I'm going through more stuff now than it did before I prayed. And he said that's because Satan didn't want him to experience true kingdom life. Whatever he was praying for was a thing that was going to break off of him that allowed God to use him. And he didn't want that to happen. And so when you notice that you are going through more obstacles, more storms, more trials, more tribulations, usually that's because you're on to something. Usually it's because that thing that you're praying for is a thing that God would use in you. It's a thing that guides you towards your purpose. It's the thing that brings your relationship closer to God. And the whole time we're thinking that we're doing something wrong, but we're not doing anything wrong. And one of the pastors said something too in the message when I was on the way down the road that really touched my soul. And it said that you keep thinking about all the things that you did wrong when God forgave you already. He been forgave you. Like he forgave you so long ago. He threw it he put it from like one end of the earth to another, and it's that far away from his thought process. It's that far away from him because he's such a forgiving God. And it's so funny because we could ask God for forgiveness, or, we'll seek God and then we're still harboring or holding on to things or the mistakes or things that we've done wrong in the past. And God has forgiven us so long ago. He's not even worried about what we did in the past. He's worried about being able to use us in the future, being able to benefit our lives in the future. And the only thing stopping us is us. I know I say this a lot, but it's so true because every time every time you think about all the mistakes that you made, and the adversary, the ops, use it and try to use it against you to stop you from seeking God, stop you from your purpose. That is the thing that God wants to use the most. God, the pastor said, God created you perfect just the way you are. You are the one that's trying to change you. There might be some things, some toxic things on you. There might be some negative things on you that have to break off, but that's not who you are. God created you. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You are perfectly made because God does not make mistakes. God is perfect. So if he created you the way that you are, he made you that way for a reason. And I'm not saying it to like try to justify anybody's doing something crazy and they feel like, oh, well, God made me this way. Like, no, I'm not talking to anything besides people who are using their past and trying to make trying to guilt themselves into feeling like they're not doing any better. The people who are having a hard time obtaining their blessings because they're so focused on the past. The people who are so focused on how imperfect they are that they feel like they need to change to be something else. And it's so funny because I would meet certain people, or like when I was in my relationship, I really felt like I couldn't be myself. I felt like being myself wasn't good enough. And so of course, if you know this story, I changed like my speech and stuff. So when I was growing up and I was younger before I met this guy, I always talked really proper. And people would just, like, no one really got on me about it except for the person that I dated. And then, of course, I met like some of the people that he and his family, and they didn't talk like that. And so then I felt like an outcast. I kind of felt like I had to change the way that I talked so that I could fit in with other people. And so I started speaking like trying to speak slang, and I tried to like use like improper English and stuff like that, not to like get on the people or anything like that, because that's who they are, but to just fit in. And so when I would have conversations with these people, I would just be like, I would just say improper things or the wrong things just to not sound so proper. And so so it's so weird because I like having conversations with different people. I like being a people person. I like doing stuff like that. And the thing that I was trying to change could have been used for my purpose. Like maybe I needed to go into different rooms and I don't need to speak like everybody else. Maybe I need to speak differently, just to be in the places that God intended me to be. Maybe that's who I was anyways. And so me trying to change that to please somebody else didn't really help me out. Now in these videos, you see me sway back and forth. I'll do like sometimes I like talk proper, and then sometimes I'll talk slang, because half of my life I talked proper because that's how I talked. And then the other half I was pretending to be something that I'm not, just because culture and everything else. And then when I go places, most of the people who I want to say this, but I don't want to sound offensive, because there are a lot of well-educated Black people. So I'm not saying it like in a derogatory way, but when I would hang out with certain people who look like me, not everybody's talking like this. Everybody's talking like, hey, what's up? Something like that. And so for me, it was always like, I always felt like odd. Like, it was just one of those things. And anyways, but we keep trying to look for these mistakes within us, the things that God is intending on using to bless us, the things that He's going to use, that little quirk, that little characteristic trait that you have that's different than anybody else, that doesn't allow you to fit in, is the thing that God needs to use the most. So while you're trying to change it to please somebody else, you are missing out on your blessings. It's funny because I keep feeling like I have this thing heavy on my heart about people missing blessings. And I think it's so true, because when you focus on being something for someone else, or you try to copy paste somebody else's life, it literally makes you miss your blessings. And I feel like God just wants us to be who we are. He wants us to be who He created us to be. He wants us to be imperfect. He wants us to be willing to try, to be serving, obedient, and focused on Him. But we spend so much time looking at what other people are doing that we forget we are who we are. We forget that those things that God gave us are gifts. Like me, not just saying me talking a certain way, I'm just saying this is an example. But like I love corny jokes. I just do. I mean, there's nothing that makes me laugh more than a really corny joke. Like I might snort and everything. It's so crazy. But but other people are like, "Oh, that's so corny." But I'm just like, it's so like simple. It's like the most funniest thing. Like, I don't know. It's something about it just makes me laugh, because it's not at the expense of somebody else. It's not like you're trying to make someone else feel badly. It's not like, it's just one of those things that's so like silly. It's hilarious, if that makes any sense. I don't know, but it's probably just me, but it always makes me laugh. And so so I like stuff like that. And I might meet people and they might be trying to build their confidence, and maybe they tell me a corny joke and I really laugh. And then they're like, it's not that funny. But then they start laughing because I'm laughing out of control, like out of control laughter. And that might be the thing that breaks the ice. I don't know. That might be the thing that person needs to boost their confidence, so that they could believe in themselves, so that they could feel like they're not alone. And you could tell when I talk to certain people, when they like tell a corny joke or something like that, and they're used to people looking at them like, or whatever. And I'm literally laughing so hard, like it doesn't make any sense. And so that might be the thing that's unique to me, that might make me relate to other people, that other people might not be able to relate to, because they might not find it that funny. They might not be able to make somebody feel that comfortable just telling a corny joke. They might look at them differently because they're different. But I know that we're all different. And I'm not like everybody else, and they're not like everybody else, and we were never meant to be clones of each other. So I don't expect somebody to be exactly like me. Like, it's funny because I would be like in a group of people when I was younger, and they might be laughing at this person who's different, and I'm different too, but they'd be laughing at this person that's different and getting on this person like, oh yeah, ha 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 ha, like this person isn't doing this, or they look at them and give them like the weird like stank look, like, mm. And I'd just be like, why are you treating that person like that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Just because they're different, so what? It never made any sense to me. But I don't know. I always have been like that. But I mean, even though I was insecure, I was never like the type of person who just wanted to make somebody else feel badly just because I didn't feel good about myself. So I don't understand it, but I don't know. And so, but hearing the pastor say that you are perfect just the way you are. You are good just as you are. Made me think about how so many people just keep trying to change themselves. And I really hope that people start to believe in themselves, that people start to understand that it's okay to be you, that it's okay to be your true self, who God created you to be. And we spend so much time like with this comparison thing and looking around to see what everybody else is doing that we forget that we are totally different. We forget that God has a whole different journey, a whole different path for us to walk. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's a straight and narrow path for a reason, because not everybody can fit on that path. So if you're sitting there trying to be like somebody else, who's going to be you? You know, who would be you? Nobody can do you like you do. Nobody can talk the way that you do, dress the way that you do, smile the way that you do. I don't know, have the same type of hair as you. I mean, I know they have all of these hair types that they say, but just because I'm 4C or whatever it is, and another person is 4C, doesn't mean that the products that we use are going to be beneficial for both of us. Like, as long as we are like taking care of our hair and we're being patient and we're figuring out what works for our hair, yes, that will work. But there's one girl who uses coconut oil, and I can't use that on my hair. I can use it on my skin, and I can use it. What else do I use it for? I use it for my skin and something else. I can't remember, but I can't even remember what it is. But anyways, I could use it on my skin, and it's like perfect. But if I use it on my hair gets so dry and brittle. I know it sounds like so, it doesn't sound like that's possible. It sounds weird that would happen. But I could see other women who are 4C and they'll put coconut oil on their hair and their hair is like shining, voluminous. It looks great. I can't use that stuff in my hair. It literally dries it out so badly, and it makes my hair tangle more for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I can warm it up, I can do whatever else. I even have like this stuff that I put in my hair before I condition, and I have to use like grapeseed oil or avocado oil or olive oil. Those are the type of oils I could put in my hair, or jojoba, something like that. And when I use vitamin E, I can only put it on the edges. I can't put it inside because it's too thick. And so, like, just things like that. We're two totally different people. We're not going to be able to do the same thing. And we might be able to both have like the same type of conditioner. Maybe there's a 3-step program that we use. One person might be able to use like a dime size amount. I might have to use a handful. It's just, we're not going to be the same. Our skin isn't going to be the same. Our looks aren't going to be the same. Even if we're identical, there's something unique about each individual one of us. And if we could just take a moment and stop trying to change what God already perfected, we would be on a good track. We would be on the right track. We would be doing the things that we need to do. If we focus on ourselves, just bettering ourselves and not worrying about trying to please some guy or some woman, or trying to make somebody that we work with pleased, or make somebody in the family pleased with who we are, then we could be exactly who God intended us to be. instead of trying to be something for somebody else. Those people are not God. God is God. It doesn't matter what they think. It might hurt your feelings when they say certain things, but they will never be God. No matter how amazing they are, no matter how cute they are, no matter what it is that they do, they could never be perfect. They're always going to mess up because they're human. They're always going to say something wrong because you're two totally different people. They're never going to do things exactly when you want them to do things at the exact time, the exact way that you want it done. If you want something done a certain way, do it your way. And you know what's funny? I was looking up because Valentine's Day is just around the corner. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be a couple days before Valentine's Day or something. I don't know. But I was thinking how I'm going to be single on Valentine's Day. And I was like, I really want to, I know this sounds weird, but I really want to take advantage of being single on this Valentine's Day. I really want to like do some things for myself that are different, that I know it sounds weird, but I really want to enjoy this Valentine's Day because I don't know when my last Valentine's Day being single will be. And I know it sounds weird to think of it like that, but I think it's a healthy way to think of it because most people, like I'll talk to some friends or some people and they're like, I wish I had someone to get me stuff on Valentine's Day. You know what my mindset is? And this might help you. It might bless you. I don't know. But whatever it is that you want the other person to do for you, do it for yourself. You want a massage? Go get a massage. You want, seriously, you want to go on a vacation or a staycation or something? Go on a staycation vacation. Get a babysitter, whatever else, and like literally make your house into an island. Or I don't know if you've seen the Parkers, but you've seen when he brought the sand in. Don't bring the sand in because then you got to vacuum it and stuff. But go get some fake palm trees, whatever your budget allows, and like get like a hammock or something, some kind of like comfortable thing, and literally just, I mean, it's so many ideas that I have. You don't even understand. And I probably can't do all of them in one day. So I'm going to have to pick like my favorite things and do those things on Valentine's Day. I mean, I can do them on my me dates too, but it's like you could turn it into a whole like island thing and just play like some Caribbean music or something and just have your whatever virgin or whatever kind of drink it is that you have. And you could sit there and kick your feet up and just enjoy the moment, just being there, just enjoy being by yourself, enjoy. And if you need to, if your money like allows you, hire a like maid, maybe not a maid, but like a butler for a day or something for like an hour. Get that person, get up, get you drinks and stuff. You just sit back, kick your feet up and enjoy 1 hour of peace by yourself, no kids, no nothing, and just be you. Just enjoy being you, you know? And so another thing that you could do is you can do indoor camping. Go get a tent at like Walmart or somewhere like that. That's not going to be super expensive. Get a sleeping bag. You're going to be in your living room or wherever else, or you can sleep in your bed. It doesn't matter, but this is just to make it a thing. Walmart has like a s'more kit. If you like s'mores, like I like s'mores, get some marshmallows, get your chocolate, dark chocolate if you're trying to be a little healthier, graham crackers or no graham crackers, and literally get some s'mores, get some popcorn, get some hot cocoa, whatever it is, do a whole vibe and just have like a little indoor thing. You know, you could do that like a fake campfire, or you could put the marshmallows in the oven and roast them. Oh my gosh, it's so good when you pop them in the oven. And then if you really need to have like that fire thing, then get a little indoor thing. Like there's this bowl, ceramic bowls that you could literally light a fire and do it in a safe environment. Do not be burning stuff. You could go outside like in an area and make sure that you're safe. And then just make some s'mores, bring them inside, kick your feet up, get in the sleeping bag, be in the tent, play some movie that you always wanted to watch. They have most of them on the apps now. Order your favorite movie, pop some popcorn, and literally like create a whole vibe. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do something like that for yourself. You don't have to expect somebody else to read your mind to be able to do that. You could do those things on your own. And for people in relationships, I know I'm not trying to overstep or anything like that, but if you have somebody that you're with, do not do this. Do this on your me date. Because the thing that the person does is not ever going to be as good as the thing that you thought of, unless they're like one of those people that's just gifted like that. So try not to compare what your ideology or your fantasy of what Valentine's Day is with what the person is going to do for you, because it's never going to measure up to what it is that you're thinking in your mind, you know. And I only say that because I know how it is for women, how you can get and how you like really think of stuff. And unless your partner is real thoughtful, or they really are gifted and giving gifts, or they hire somebody that does gifts, they really don't know what to get. You know, they mainly get like the same couple things or something like that. So just try not to be so hard on them, you know, because they can't read your mind. And even if they know like type of things that you like, they're not thinking of it like that. I promise you, they're not thinking of it like that. They might do something nice for you, but most of the time it's not going to be exactly what you envision. Like, even if somebody gets you 100 flowers, that's nice, but you might have been thinking, oh, I would have liked to go on a trip or something. It's not going to be the same thing because they can't read your mind. And so just while you're single, think of, what I did was, I know this is so corny and I know people are probably going to get on me, but I wrote this list of things that I want to do for Valentine's Day that I would aspire to have. Like, if I had to think of the things that I wanted as a gift on Valentine's Day, what would it be? And so I got this I got this list of things that I want to do. And so I'm going to tell you my idea, because I'm okay with you stealing it, especially if it makes you feel happy, especially if it makes you feel good about yourself. And so I'm going to I'm going to get a gift box, and I'm going to wrap this gift box in a lavender ribbon. And in the gift box, I'm going to put like, I'm going to have like the little whatever stuff, but it's going to be like, either I'm going to use tan, like the tan shred, or I'm going to use like the multicolor shred, but it's like the shiny stuff, kind of like the Easter baskets. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to get a satin robe, and I don't know if I'm going to do candles or what I'm going to put in there, but I know for sure the satin robe is going in there. And in there, I'm going to have like a little note that I'm going to handwrite to myself. And the note is going to be about the things that I am grateful for that God has given me. So it's going to be like, I'm going to be like thankful for God, to God, for the things that he's blessed me for. And then I'm going to list all of the things that I love about myself. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put love me or whatever, or love yourself. Yeah, pun intended. And so, and so in this letter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it kind of like a diploma. I'm going to put a little tiny ribbon around it with a bow, and I'm going to write it in calligraphy. And this letter is going to go in there with the satin robe, with the box, with the satin bow on top of that. And I'm going to get myself some flowers, probably my favorite flowers. And then I'm going to, I know this sounds like a lot, but seriously, just hang in there. Then I'm going to do balloons. I'm going to do 2 columns of balloons, but it's not going to be like a column. It's just going to be like 4 and 4 or something. And they're going to be probably pink. I don't know if I'm going to do lavender, since the box is kind of lavender in the ribbon, but I'm going to do like black, red, and white or something, or black, pink, pink, purple. Like, if I can get that lavender, I'm going to do purple and pink, and then probably like silver or something like that. And I'm going to string them up, and they're going to hang on both sides of the couch. And at the bottom of the balloons, one of them is going to have the gift on one side, and on the other side is going to be like, I don't know if I want to do a teddy bear. I really don't want a teddy bear. Maybe I'll put the flowers or something on the other side, but I really want to put those in water, you know. So something else is going to be on the other side. Then I'm either going to book a massage, or I'm going to do like a at-home pedicure spa thing. So I'm ordering like this little thing that goes on the tub. It's like a wooden thing, so I can like read, and I'm going to have the candles, and I'm going to have my drinks and stuff like that, my drink. And I'm going to get like some of the flowers that I have, maybe one of them will be roses. I'm going to use the rose petal for the bath. And then I know I'm doing a whole vibe. I'm telling you, like, if I could envision like what I would want to give myself for Valentine's Day, this would probably be it. So I'm going to do like a home like spa day. And after, I have my gifts and the balloons are up and everything else. And I've done like this nice relaxing bath with the candles and everything else and the rose petals. Then I am going to watch this movie that I rented. I rented it early and I have 30 days to watch it. So I'm picking Valentine's Day to watch it or the weekend. And I'm going to watch this movie and eat a nice giant bowl of popcorn with some hot cocoa. Like, I make this homemade hot cocoa that's like a healthier version and it's so delicious. So I'm going to make that and I'm going to like literally like probably put on some fuzzy socks and maybe not an oversized t-shirt since I'm doing sets now. So I guess I'll have like the satin robe on and then I'll do like whatever set it is. I don't know, but I'm gonna with my fuzzy socks or my slippers. Maybe kick the slippers off by then, but I'll wear my fuzzy socks until I get comfortable. And then I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch this movie and I'm gonna thank God for the day for allowing me to spend this Valentine's Day alone because I don't know how much longer I have on earth, first of all, and I don't know how many single Valentine's days I'm gonna have. I know it sounds weird to think of it like that, but I really want to take in every moment. Every single day I get to be single. Every single holiday I get to be single. And I say get because I think sometimes people mess up their mindset because they start using the wrong terminology. Instead of saying, "Oh, I have to be single on Valentine's Day." Think of you get to be single on Valentine's Day. You don't have to expect someone to get a gift that they're not going to get. You don't have to expect someone to do something that they're not going to do. You don't have to have this idea in your head of what Valentine's Day is going to look like when you should really be appreciative of whatever it is that you're getting. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out what to get for a guy because it's really hard to pick things because you don't know what to get them in the first place. Like, you could literally just enjoy this moment because God is blessing you with the moment of just enjoying his presence. Like, on Valentine's Day, I'm going to give all honor and glory to God just to thank him for another moment to wake up because a lot of people didn't get to make it to that year, to this day. I'm going to really think about, this is love. God is love. Why not spend it with God? Why not spend it, the beginning part of the day serving somebody else or, doing something nice for somebody else or whatever, And I did think about going on like a little small trip and traveling, but I don't want to, I don't know if I want to travel that day. It wouldn't be until the weekend. And I already travel for work, so I really I don't know if I want to spend another day traveling, even though this would be a leisure trip, you know. But I just, I just want to spend the first morning just thanking God, and then I want to end the day like I usually do, telling him about my day. I'll read my Bible probably before I read my book when I get in, do the soak or whatever. I don't know, but that's what my Valentine's Day is gonna look like. It's gonna be a whole vibe. Kingdom vibes only. Kingdom vibes only. I know I said that from a sermon, but seriously, if you stay focused on God and just being grateful for your life, it just makes everything else better. It really does. Because you don't get to soak, like sulk. You don't get to sulk and just think of all the things that you don't have, like the adversary, the ops want you to think about the things that you don't have. You get to think about the things that you do have in life. You get to think about the fact that you get to smile and you don't have to have your mouth wired shut or something. You can think about the fact that you get to see and you still have your vision. You get to think about the fact that you could smell and your senses aren't messed up. You can taste things. Like, you got that family member or friend that could really cook, you could taste all them flavors. Like, you're really going to unappreciate your life. You can hear things. You can hear like the birds chirping, or you can hear like the sound of your favorite song, and the voice of your mom, dad, whoever it is, because some people don't get to hear that voice anymore because their parents aren't here. And sometimes we really just get unappreciative of the life that we've been blessed with. And we look at it the wrong way. We really look at it like the things that we're lacking instead of the things that we have. I almost said packing, but because I was about to rhyme, but you get what I'm saying. And it's really time for us to stay focused on God. It's time for us to stop saying we have to do things and say we get to do things. It's time for us to start our day off thanking God and being grateful and looking at the things that we can be thankful for. It's time for us to pray to God for the small things, because the small things can turn into big things, and we don't have to handle anything on our own. God might trust us with more, but we can still call on him when we need us, when we need him. So we don't have to pretend like we got to be super strong. Like, this whole time, and I know you're probably thinking, well, you love God, so much. So I don't understand why you didn't do this sooner. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner, but but I was literally just feeling like I was having a real hard time being vulnerable with other people. And I was like, I don't know, like I always feel like I'm good, and then I just have I like feel myself pull back. And then I took a moment and I prayed to God. Like, I know you're probably like, you should have been prayed to God. I know I should have, but I didn't. And so I took a moment and I really prayed to God that God allow me to be vulnerable with the right person. Allow me to not put up a wall, a barrier between me and whoever it is that you appoint to be a part of my life. Allow me to have like discerning of a person and discerning of the spirit on the person, so that I don't allow any of that to seep into my soul or into my spirit. Allow me to be the person that you created me to be, and because I'm seeking you, I know I will be strong enough to be vulnerable with the right person, And so then not weirdly, but just right on time, like God is, I just feel myself like I'm ready for whatever it is that's coming my way. Like, I just felt like that. And I know tomorrow's video might be different. There might be stuff the adversary tries to throw at me because he really wants me to put up this wall between myself and other people, because I'm a people person and I love helping people. So what would stop me from helping people more than blocking my blessings or blocking other people off? Exactly. And so, of course, I need to be seeking God so that God can help me fight this fight. So he can help me fight against the opposition. So he doesn't allow these oppositions to take control of my life and to stop me, to stop my growth, to prohibit me from being able to receive more blessings, from being able to prosper, being able to become better. The only thing that would be stopping me is the thoughts that I allow Satan to make me feel like I'm missing something, like he did Eve when he was like, oh, but you will know all of these things. Like, he really tried to make it seem like she wasn't good enough just the way she was. And she was perfect, perfectly made, just the way that God intended her to be. That's how all of us are. We will be doing good, and it might be this guy or something that you meet, and he wants his cake and eat it too. And you're feeling like, oh, I got to go up against this person. You don't have to go up against anybody. What's for you is for you. God is not going to have you compete with some other woman for a man that's already appointed for you. That's already yours. You know what I'm saying? And for men too. You don't have to go into some big competition, even though it might feel good to know that you're winning something over another guy, but that's not going to be the thing that's for you. God would never have you in a position where you're competing for somebody that's for you. It will work out the right way, the way it's supposed to. And it's so funny because the other day, or I was having a conversation with a family member, and I was talking about how I missed one of my blessings because I was so hesitant and I didn't want to disappoint God, or I didn't want to make the wrong decision. And it's so funny because I was like, oh man, I missed it now. Now I feel like there's never going to be another opportunity, or there will be a different opportunity, but I'll have to wait, or it won't be the same. Then the pastor today was like, you're worried about missing out on a blessing because you didn't do something when God told you to do it. I was like, every time I pray, or I think about something that's bothering me or that's heavy on my heart or something like that, I literally hear it in a sermon, and it blesses me. And so he was like, we got the type of God that will spin the block for you. And I truly believe that, because you feel like you're missing out on something. Like, all those years I spent in that relationship, I was like, there's no way I'll ever be happy again, or I'll ever be able to do anything else in life. And God really spun the block. He was like, no, we're not going out like that. Like, we got other things to do. We got more to do in life. And I'm not going to let you just lay down and then just, that's it for your life. I have more for you. I have a bigger plan for you. And I can't allow the adversary, the opposition to come in. I can't allow your ops to come in and take you out. You got more to life. You have more to live. You have more things that you need to be doing in life. And you can't give up now. You can't give up because I'm not giving up on you. And man, when he said that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to miss out on nothing. Because even if I'm not sure and I don't walk into it or step into whatever it is that God is telling me to do, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe I misheard. Maybe that's not what God wants me to do. Maybe he's saying something else. And so the opportunity will go. And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was God. Why didn't I take this opportunity? But God is not the type of God that's a God of lack. He's a God of abundance. So he would never give me one thing one time and then never give me anything else. He would give me everything that I need. And however many times it's got to keep spinning the block. It's going to come back around. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to ever worry about missing out on something that God has for you, because what's for you is intended for you and nobody else. So in conclusion, when it comes to oppositions in your life, make sure that you stay focused on God, because God will see you through everything. You don't have to worry about trying to be somebody else, because you are beautifully and wonderfully made. You are made perfect just the way that you are. Mistakes and everything. I mean, flaws or quirks, whatever it is about you that you feel like you need to change for somebody else, you don't have to change, because that's the thing that God can use. You don't have to worry about what anybody else is doing. Focus on God and what it is that he wants you to do, because your life will be more blessed if you are just being true to yourself than it would if you are trying to copy paste somebody else's life, because their journey is not your journey. The path is straight and narrow for a reason, because it's intended for you to walk that way behind God, so that God can carry you through those times when things get hard, so that he can be right there with you. And anytime you have trouble in your life, or you don't know where to turn or how you're going to make it through something, no matter how small it is, call on God, because that small problem can turn into a big problem real fast. And God is there because he wants you to call on him. He doesn't expect you to handle everything on your own. I know it feels like you have to be super strong in all these areas because you've been through so much, but God is always going to be there for you. You don't have to worry about him leaving your life. You don't have to worry about him abandoning you. You don't have to worry about him making a promise that he can't keep. You don't have to worry about him giving away something that was always supposed to be yours. God has things specifically for you. You don't have to be in a competition with anybody else to receive it. He will he will always be there for you. He will always be there when you call him. So start each day off being grateful. Thank God for all of the things that you have, and change your vocabulary to say that you get to do these things instead of you have to do them. And you will notice your life change tremendously. So be who God always created you to be. And whenever you're praying to God, I'm not telling you how to pray, I'm just saying, whenever you're praying to God, just know that he got you. Know that he's going to take care of everything. Even when you can't see how it's going to work out, God got you.